everyone. Hope you're all doing good out there today. Today I'm going to be making a chocolate cake in my bread machine. So I've done a lemon pound cake in there. It was really good, but I've never attempted like a regular chocolate cake. I have a recipe for a vanilla cake, a white cake. So we'll be doing that too, but not today. So this recipe comes from, I got it offline, and it's from breaddad.com. So if you want to know, go there, but I'll also have the recipe linked down in the description box. So let's get into making our chocolate bread in our bread maker. Oh, and I didn't introduce myself in case you're new. I'm Debbie. So hope you think about subscribing and give me that thumbs up. Okay, so what we're going to do today is a little bit different. I'm not going to just put all the ingredients in the pan. I'm going to mix them up in here first, and then I'm going to pour it in, just so I know it's good incorporated and there's no flour. I don't have to come back and make sure I'm scraping the sides and things like that. So the first thing we're going to do is add 1 cup of milk into the bowl. I have 12 tablespoons of butter, and it's pretty well all melted. And incorporate that in there. The next ingredient we're going to put in is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Look at that. She's almost gone. I have another bottle on standby. So when I open that bottle, then I'll order another one. That's just what I do. I have to keep one on in stock. And if you hear any buzzing or something like that, my husband is working out in the garage. He's installing some new LED lights. Where's my, there it is. It's like I lost my cap, runaway cap. Okay, we're going to also be adding 2 eggs. And we're going to use light brown sugar today instead of regular white sugar. We're going to use light brown. And it's going to be 1.5 cups, and it's going to be packed. I hope I have enough. If I don't make a mess on the counter, I might have enough. I had it on my grocery list to get before I was going to do this. And you might say, why are you using light brown sugar instead of white sugar? Chocolate cakes tend to be not as moist. So I read somewhere that the reason a recipe might call for brown sugar is to try to add a little moisture into the recipe. So, and that's probably the case definitely with a bread machine. So there's 1.5. Okay, got that done. Okay, 2 cups of flour. And we're going to add 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. I'm going to do this before the flour, I think. Let me incorporate some of this in here. Just kind of stir as I go. Okay, 1/2 cup of this. This is going to make it chocolatey. You can also add chocolate chips. I'm not going to. That wasn't quite half, so I think that is. And we're going to put our 2 cups of flour in here. think before I add the flour, I'm going to add the baking powder and the baking soda. Woo! Look at her fly. Okay, so let's add this in first, baking powder. And that's 1 teaspoon. And I use that in, so I'm going to use this one. And we're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda also. Right? Yep. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of salt. It kind of sounds like a lot of salt, doesn't it? I'm going to go by the recipe. Now I am making this, I will say I'm making this cake for my husband's guys at work, so I'm not going to be testing it. But before I upload this video, I will ask him to ask his gentlemen if they liked it. Did they enjoy it? And then I'll kind of put that, add that text to the end of the video, whether they liked it or not. Okay. So we got that in there. Now we're going to add the flour. Get out my little trusty knife here. And there's 1. And 2. I'm just going to try to incorporate the flour, not over stir it. Just want to give it a little head start in the bread machine. Just going to fold it in, I think. Okay. I think she's about ready to go in. Now, let me just look real quick. I have seen that people did oil, maybe a little bit of shortening and flour, and did that to their pans, but I'm not seeing where it says you need to do that. So we're just going to add it in like it is. Okay. We're going to pour it in. Make sure my paddle is attached. I've forgotten that a couple times, as you know. It's smelling like chocolate cake. Alrighty. I'm going to clean this off a little bit. I got a drip there. Okay, let's put it in there. It's plugged in. We're going to choose the cake setting. And that's number 11. And start. It says 1 hour and 52 minutes. So 1 hour and 52 minutes, I'll be back to show you the end result. Here we go. I just peeked in here and it's collapsed in the middle. And the only thing I know that a reason it collapses in the middle is your leavening agent. There was too much of that, which it was a teaspoon of each. So you might try only putting a half a teaspoon of each. And then the other thing is, well, it does slide right out. It smells wonderful. The other thing is sometimes if it collapses in the middle like that, too much air got into when I was mixing it. So just put everything in the pan and let this mix it instead of mixing it in the bowl. I was just trying to follow the directions of the recipe, how he had it stated. So, whew, hot. But there it is. Like I said, it smells really good. I'm gonna let it cool, and then it's really, oh wow, look at that. Do you see my hands shining? Oh my gosh, that is so, that's lots of butter was in there. I'll be interested to know the review from my husband's coworkers when they eat it. But I'm going to, I'll probably turn it upside down, and I'm gonna cut it into 3 layers and then put a little icing on it. And so I'm sure it'll be edible. It smells really good. But there you have a chocolate cake in your bread machine. And like I said, maybe try just using a half a teaspoon of baking powder and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Or just put all your ingredients in the pan and not mix them in the bowl. I think I will try that next time. Stick to the recipe, but just put all the ingredients in the pan. But baking is kind of scientific, so you just have to, it's trial and error sometimes. But I'm here to show you the real deal. So you try it. Tell me if yours turned out good. Tell me if you tweaked the amounts of the leavening agents, or if you put it in there without stirring it in a bowl. Let me know what you did. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.